It is the 31st of January 2025 and this is what's currently in my investment portfolio. So this video has been the most requested video from my dividend income video comments. So I am going to sit and go through everything. It is going to change. I do have plans to change it up a little bit this year. As you'll see, I've got a lot of investments in different companies that I don't need, some of which are duplicated because I've got like S&P 500 and then I've got loads of US stocks that are within that. So I'm thinking of changing that up over this year, opening nicer and selling and moving some of that stuff over. But I just wanted to go through it now before I start making these changes, just to kind of document where I'm at and then where I'm going to be. Before we get into this, I just want to make the point of, in the beginning, I had no idea what I was doing. Currently, I have a little bit more of an idea and I have a little bit more of a goal, which I will mention later on in the video. But initially, I was just really excited to buy a lot of stocks. So if you are new to investing or you're thinking of starting to invest, please don't copy this portfolio. For the amount of money that's in it, I think there's too many companies. I'm sure a lot of you will agree. Initially, I was just really interested in being paid dividends by many different companies. And I don't think it's the way that I want to go now. Well, I know that it isn't, but this is where we are currently. I want to show my current positions in everything, and then hopefully down the line show you where I've improved on that in the changes that I've made. Please don't copy what is in my portfolio. It's not the best. I don't think that it's the way forward. It certainly isn't going to be the way forward that I'm going to be choosing. Please do your own research. It's not as scary as it sounds, and just know that you will make mistakes. I think in the beginning, my main goal with it was to just have a mess about with it, and I only invested money that I could afford to lose in case I did make mistakes. Now I'm getting a little bit braver and I have a bit more of a direction that I want to go in. But yeah, initially, you'll see. Let's get into it. I'll show you. I'm just opening up Freetrade now. I'm going to record my screen just so you can see where I started and where I am now. I started investing on the 11th of March 2022 was when I opened my Freetrade account. And I think, did I put money in on the 11th? Yeah, so I did put money in on the 11th. It was like £9 something. I think it says £9.95. So as you can see, this year wasn't particularly good for how much money I was putting in. I was kind of just messing about with it, scared to put too much money in case I lost it all, which maybe wasn't a bad way to think at that time while I was getting used to it. And then as we go into 2023, I did sell my house. It went through in the July, so I put the money that I needed into my savings, maxed out my ISA with the money that I made for the house, and then put the rest into Freetrade. I just had a little bit left over that I wasn't putting into saving pots for my new house. And then I had a little bit of a lull where I didn't really put anything in because I wasn't sure what was happening with my money, whether I was buying a house or anything like that. After that, I did start to put in £50 a month. So as you can see, it starts to go up a little bit quicker here. This big peak here, I did have some investments in Plum, and I kind of didn't want them in different places, so I sold out of all of those that were up. I think there's still about £7 in there now that I need to move over, but I think it was about £100 that I put in, which coincided with one of my monthly deposits of £50. So then carried on for the rest of 2024, just putting in £50 a month. It's obviously gone up and down depending on what the stock market's doing. And then there has been a little bit of a peak in January. So some of this is referrals. So I was lucky enough to get a free Coca-Cola share because one of you signed up, which was great. So that was about £50. And then I've put £50 in myself, and the markets have kind of picked back up a little bit, but they can always go back down. So that's how we're looking at the moment. I like that it is getting steeper up here. You can kind of see where I've started to take it a little bit more seriously. To go into my portfolio, my biggest holding is in the S&P 500. It's currently at £215.71. That is up 19.06% since I started investing in this stock, which equates to £34.53. So that is my biggest holding. I did make a decision a little while ago to put more money in ETFs rather than buying individual stocks. So that's how this has become my biggest holding. Moving on to the next one is FTSE 100. Again, trying to get more money into ETFs because I feel like that's the best bet. I have £194.26 in the FTSE 100. That's up 9.03%, and that's £16.09. Dividends for these are getting bigger as well, which is nice. So they pay 2.52 dividend yield. Moving on to UK dividend. So I have £170.55 in here. That's up 9.8%, which equates to £15.23. My fourth biggest holding is Unilever. My current value of this stock is £139.60. That's up 14.87%, which is £18.07. I haven't invested any money into Unilever since April last year, just because I put £50 a month in and the stock price is £46. So if I buy it, then that's kind of my month wiped out. I think I was buying this when I was putting like bigger bits of money in. World Dividend, another ETF. So my current value in this stock is £15.90, which is up by 13.36%, which is £13.66. Moving on to National Grid. So I have 9 shares in National Grid. The current value is £88.52. It is down by 3.45%, which is £3.17. It is quite up and down, but I do think National Grid is a good company to invest in. I'm not worried about any kind of dips there. My next one is Realty Income. So I have just over 2 shares in this stock. My current value is £88.28. It is down 9.75%, which is £9.54. These do pay a monthly dividend, and I do like having that monthly dividend come in, so I'm not planning on selling them anytime soon. I probably will sell and move over to the ISA at some point, but I'm not planning on selling those. Rolls-Royce. So I have £4.84, £84.82 in this stock. It's just changed as I'm looking at it. So this is up by 194.22%, which is £55.99. I bought into Rolls-Royce at a good time just before the stock price increased quite dramatically. So I'm really happy about that. I got lucky with that one. I'm hoping that in the future they will start paying a dividend now that they're kind of increasing the price. I don't know if they used to previously. I feel like I have seen that they did used to pay a dividend. I could be wrong. The next one is Coca-Cola. So as you can see, I did get a free share of Coca-Cola, which put my value of it up by £50. So I didn't have anywhere near this much initially, but I have £76.37 worth of Coca-Cola shares. It is up 3.56%, so I've made a £2.63 gain on those. We are starting to get lower in terms of money that I've got invested into these stocks. Starbucks, again, I bought these really early on in my journey. My current value of Starbucks is £50.30. It's up 24.39%, which is a gain of £9.86. Then I have a FTSE All World ETF. So I have quite recently, I feel. I know March 2024 was the first time I bought it, but then I didn't really buy any more until December of 2024. But my current value in here is £40.09. It's up 7.8%, which is a £2.90 gain. Johnson & Johnson. So my current value in these are £39.58. It is down by 8%, which is a loss of £3.44. Legal & General. So my current value of this stock is £38.92. That's up by 1.83%, or a gain of 70p. McDonald's is another one. A lot of these US shares I did buy quite early on. I just looked at big companies that I know do quite well and was like, right, I'll just buy fractional shares of all of these. So this is where most of this has come from. So my current value in McDonald's is £37.07. This is up by 6.89%, which is a £2.39 gain. Moving on to Apple. Oh, that's had a bit of a boost today. So my current value of Apple is £36.56. This is up 36%, which is a £9.70 gain. Tesco, current value is £33.65. It's up by 36.74%, which is a gain of £9.04. Moving on to Colgate Palmolive, so I have £31.95 of this stock. It is up by 12.77%, which is a gain of £3.62. Pets at Home, again, one of the first ones that I bought. I have £31.58 in this. This is down by 25.96%, which is a loss of £11.08. Kraft Heinz, my value is £29.75. Hello. Hi. Thank you. Thank you. This is a loss of 14.36% or £4.99. Tritax Big Box, I have £28.98 is my current value. That's down by 19.12%, which is a loss of £6.85. AM Dividend, so this is dividend paying stocks from emerging markets. My first share of this was a free share from a referral, and then I had a little look into the stock, decided that I wanted to keep it, so I did, and added a little bit more to it. So my current value is £24.32, up by 5.83%, which is a gain of £1.34. Lloyd's was also one of the first ones that I bought because the shares were so cheap, so I kind of thought I'll buy I don't think it was 62 pence a share there. My average price per share is £0.46, so 46 pence, 47 pence. So yeah, it was a lot lower. It has gone up a little bit. My current value of Lloyd's is £23.70. This is up by 33.43%, which is £5.94. We are getting into the nitty gritty and the little bits and bobs of stocks that I have. So the next one is AbbVie. My current value of this stock is £23.44, up by 11.9%, which is a gain of £2.49. ESG Global, which is a global all-cap ETF. My current value is £20.43, which is a gain of 21.53% and £3.62. If the frame has changed or the lighting, I apologise. My mic died, so I had to go and charge it again after I'd recorded the full video. So yeah, we'll pick up where we left off. Moving on to Pepsi. Again, this was the one that I started buying really early on. My current value is £20.24. This is down by 10.9%, which is a loss of £2.48. Berkshire Hathaway, bought this probably midway through because it's Warren Buffett's company, and I don't know. The investor in us, the wannabe rich investor in us, just thought, well, invest in that. He's done all right, hasn't he? I don't know if I'll keep it. Maybe, maybe not. So my current value in this is £19.99. It's up by 15.13%, which is a gain of £2.63. Moving on to Aviva. So this is quite a recent buy. I'm trying to just buy UK companies. I am going to be moving them over to the ISA though, so it's annoying that I've started buying, but never mind, we are where we are. The current value of this is £15.46. It's up by 9.02%, which is a gain of £1.28. Next one is Vodafone. This was a cheap stock that I bought really early on because the price was so low. So my current value is £14.44, which is down 23.29%, which is a loss of £4.39. Next one is BP, another recent buy for me. So I have 3 shares in this. The current value is £12.62. It's up by 6.91%, which is a gain of 82 pence. Next one is I can never say it quick, BAE Systems. So I have 1 share of this. Current value is £12.23. It's up 9.98%, which is a gain of £1.11. James Latham. So this says that this stock is a timber company. I got this as a free share from a referral from one of you guys, so that was great. So I have one share in this, value £11.83, down by 4.6%, which is a loss of 57 pence. Moving on to Greencoat UK, again, another one that I bought really early on. My current value is £10.85, down by 17.71%, which is a loss of £2.34. JP Morgan, current value £10.75, up by 35.39%, which is a gain of £2.81. Global Clean Energy, so this is an energy ETF. My current value is £10.60, which is down by 32.6%, which is a loss of £5.12. Taylor Wimpey, I bought this really early on because at the time I lived in a Taylor Wimpey house, so go figure. My current value is £9.55, down by 6.58%, which is a loss of 67 pence. Pan-African Resources. This was a stock that I bought really early on. I think I probably saw someone talk about it in a video and thought, oh, I'm going to go and buy that as well. It was doing quite badly at one point, but it seems to be picking back up, but I don't have a lot of money in it. So I do have 12 shares, which is at a current value of £4.84, up by 73.33%, which is a gain of £2.05. Next is Renewables Infrastructure. Current value is £4.70, down by 38.11%, which is a loss of £2.90. Finally, we have Polestar. So Polestar was a free share that I got when my boyfriend signed up using my Freetrade link. At the time, it was worth £5.05. Currently, it's worth 84 pence. So yeah, Polestar's not been doing too good. But I'm hoping, because it's an electric car company, I think, that over time that will increase. I'm not going to sell it at a loss. I'll probably just keep it in my general investment account and just see what happens with it. But that is down by 83.25%, which is a loss of £4.21. So that was a look into my current portfolio. I am going to change a lot of this. I'm going to change it up in the future, but I just wanted to show what it's like now. I know a lot of people have asked for it, and I've kind of not, because it's not because I'm embarrassed, but a lot of people have been doing this for a long time, and a lot of people are a lot more educated than I have been, and probably that I ever will be on this subject. But for transparency, I wanted to show you mistakes have been made, definitely. I feel like in the beginning I was just so excited at buying companies and owning a bit of McDonald's and a bit of Starbucks and some Pepsi and some Coke, like all these big companies that I own a tiny little bit of, that pay me a dividend, which I still am excited about now. But I do think that going forward, I want my portfolio to be smaller in terms of the number of different companies that there are within that. And a lot of the US stocks that I have are also in S&P 500. So part of me is very much going down the thought process of, in terms of US stocks, maybe not holding as many and just putting all the money in the S&P 500, and then focusing on dividend paying UK stocks for my individual companies that I hold. But it's going to be a bit of a process getting there. I don't want to sell anything at a loss. I am going to move it over to an ISA just so I can sort of future-proof it, really, because I can keep putting money into this general investment account, but at some point I am going to have to either pay tax on it or move it over to an ISA. So I think the sooner I do it, the better. So I hope you all enjoyed a little nosy into my strange portfolio, but yeah, like I say, for transparency and to show the journey from, I think it's important to show that you do make mistakes and you do things that in hindsight you probably wouldn't do, knowing what you know now. It's like anything in life, but it is a learning curve. So yeah, I will see you next time. Bye.